All right, so I am here today to talk about plantar fasciitis because it's kind of commonly misunderstood across the board about like what causes plantar fasciitis. And I think a lot of people, or if you even Google it, it will probably tell you it's like an overuse injury. So you start walking more, you start running more, and that's like partially true, but the end question is like, why? Why is that happening? And why are we just accepting that that's okay? It's not okay and it's not normal. And plantar fasciitis isn't like a thing that we should all have. I would like to just educate people a little bit more and explain why it's not normal and don't accept it as just that's the way it is. So basically, like, where it all comes from is our foot. Yay. And our foot is, as I've said, super awesome. And it's like one of the coolest mechanisms on our body. And when it can't be used the right way, things like plantar fasciitis happen. And we can easily address this and fix it if you go barefoot, if you change your shoes a little more frequently to a non-restrictive shoe, and get your legs stronger. There's like a lot of components involved in plantar fasciitis. It's not just that the plantar fascia is irritated. You have to like look a little deeper and think, why is it irritated? So basically the plantar fascia attaches to the bottom of your foot, which I think everybody knows. So the plantar fascia connects to the bottom of our toes, our phalanges, and then to the bottom of our heel on the inside, and that's usually where everybody feels the most pain. And so, first of all, yes, you can always roll out your foot, especially in the morning, before you get that. Try to loosen it up, mobilize it. That's never going to fix it ultimately. It's just a little band-aid and it's helping you get through your day. So yes, do it, but that's not the end. So all this plantar fascia is here as part of like the spring-loaded system of our foot. And when our foot becomes underutilized, as it does in a restrictive shoe, we're no longer using the mechanics that our foot is designed for, and that plantar fascia, which is super soft and supple upon landing because we need weight acceptance, and our joints are basically loose and ready to adapt to whatever ground we're landing on. Our foot is nice and supple and can adapt to whatever terrain we're on. And then if I was standing up, as we come forward and this toe here is getting ready, because this is like the main component of our gait and our toe off, our spring-loaded system, this all tightens up again. So if you think about it, it's like nice and loose here, and then as we stand, it's like a spring-loaded thing as we come up, and then it shoots us off. Like that. So see how high up my arch gets, and yet when I'm standing, I'm landing, you can see this way, my foot pronates, right? And so basically, you want that, that's good. Every foot needs pronation here, and then we're going into spring-loaded, and my foot automatically jumps into an arch because it's ready to excel. And so that is the other common thing that we don't seem to understand, that pronation is necessary. And there is such a thing as overpronation, and a lot of that happens from weakness and instability of the foot, of the hip, and of the knee, and of the ankle. So if you have weakness in your hips, if I want to stand on one limb like I do when I'm running, then this is going to collapse inwards if I don't have a strong glute, right? And so now see what happens to my foot is I am in a lot of pronation there. So that's like excessive pronation, and then ultimately what that ends up doing is putting too much stress on the plantar fascia. So it's like constantly being stretched and constantly pulling on that calcaneus, that bone back here, and that's why you're feeling so much pain there, because there is a constant tug on that area. And the thing about shoes is that they're very rigid, they're very restrictive, and they're just not allowing your foot to use that whole spring-loaded weight acceptance system. We've been given this amazing thing to become the bipedal creatures that we are, and when you're sticking your foot into a shoe, like it can just be a Converse, it unfortunately takes away our foot's ability to be a foot, and then we're landing just kind of like onto the heel and pushing off in more of like this rigid fashion, and eventually your feet start splaying out to the side to try to get you forward. You're not using your big toe anymore, and it's just a spiral effect of bad things to come. But the other thing is your posterior tibialis muscle runs through here, and it runs right down and through your arch, and so it becomes like a huge player in our gait cycle and also controlling the foot. And when there's too much pronation because of the weakness of the foot or from the collapse of the knee, which is coming from the hip, then you're putting too much stress on your posterior tibialis and you're gonna get tendonitis. And I rarely see plantar fasciitis without like some great posterior tib aggravation. So that is another thing, is trying to get that posterior tibialis muscle stronger to hold up and to fight against that overpronation that's happening, because it's getting lengthened and it's getting weakened. In the next video, I will actually give you some exercises to address the foot, the ankle, the knee, the hip, everything all together. Cool, so sit tight and I will get the next video ready for a bunch of exercises to address this, and especially if you're a runner, this is going to be good stuff. Thank you.